What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Alchemy Pay today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's looking like Alchemy Pay did not pursue any follow through with this move, and it's looking like it is going to come back down, right? So just wanted to make an update on that. It's looking like another lower high, right? You had that crazy wicked day here. The 4 hour time frame was looking pretty bullish right here. You did continue to grow, but when you have this bullish setup and you don't do anything with it, this is what happens. So likely you are going to continue to go lower. Your volume's dying off as you're up here. This does seem rather distributive, and you probably go lower. So that's fine. That's fine. Let's talk about the low side. Where are you going to go, right? And by the way, again, scoping out here, looking at this thing for what it's worth, it's going to go up. It's going to see all-time high areas or around there. 12 cents is the minimum target when it comes to this next breakout. You're at 2.6 now. Everything's fine. Okay. Okay. Going to the 4 hour time frame here, looking at this, how low are we going to go? From a low here back on the 11th of March to this wicked high here, no pun intended. You are below your 382 right now. Likely what happens is you go down to your golden ratio and probably below, right? Golden ratio down there at about 2.44 cents to 2.35 cents, somewhere in this zone, which is also right at prior areas of resistance here, right? So finding support at prior areas of resistance is not a bad thing, and prior areas of support back here. It wouldn't surprise me if you went even lower than that, right? If we're taking into consideration that I think Bitcoin drops about 14% or more from its current prices, Alchemy Pay probably does as well. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some kind of double bottom. But I also, I don't think that's going to happen just in one day, one fell swoop. Maybe it does. Maybe the whole market just drops in one fell swoop one day. But I would think that you might find support here, resistance here. Maybe what you do is instead of resistance at the 0.5, you find resistance at the 382, one of these areas. You continue to come down, you find support here, and then you find resistance here at the golden ratio, and then you work your way down, something like this to find support down in this area, and then once it's like the end of the month going into April, then we'll start to recover and move up. That's kind of my thoughts, right? It's an ugly looking path that I've drawn, but I hope it's clear. There's not one path, there's multiple paths down to this zone here. And I think that you're working your way down there. It's not going to be overnight. It'll take a couple days, a couple weeks, a week and a half, something like that. And then once you find support there, you'll likely grow and show and put on a show, man. We're going to buy the dip, we're going to hold the rip, and then we are going to sell the tip. That is the aspirations that we have for this thing here, okay? If we're looking at the 4 hour RSI, yes, it is still in a bullish posturing, but again, doing this kind of stuff without having any follow through, that's not bullish at all to me. I think that you are destined to go to the oversold zone. I think that this, while it is in an uptrend right now, it's in a nice uptrend right now, you're about to break out of that, and you probably start forming a downtrend of sorts, right? Over the coming days, over the coming week and a half, something like that. And that would make a lot of sense, again, because if I think Bitcoin's going to drop 14%, I think the average altcoin's going to drop 20 to 25%. Going down to these lows, that puts you right in that 20 to 25% area. I want to be very clear. Yes, it is very possible, and it shouldn't be upsetting if we do go below this low. We can go below this low. You could see prices at 1.9 cents, and you're fine. You're totally fine. I have to be careful doing this because that gets you labeled as something. Apparently, I'm not trying to get labeled as anything that I'm not here just for making hand gestures that might seem inappropriate. It's not an inappropriate hand gesture. I'm saying it's not gonna happen. I keep doing it. It's not making it better. It is inappropriate if you mean it hatefully, right? If you're doing it, if you're doing the salute, that is inappropriate, but that's not what's happening. I'm shoveling it away. Anyways, guys, we're at 2.67 cents. We're at 2.67 cents now. If you go below, if you go to 1.9 cents, it's fine. It's totally fine. Okay. Likely from a high to a low here, high to a low, high to a low here. I would expect that if you find support in this area, which you probably do, you will continue to run up, and your next target area will inevitably be the golden ratio. I would expect that you do hit this sometime in maybe mid or late April. You'll be at about 4 to 4.2 cents, and you'll work your way up right throughout this area. Maybe going into the end of April, you will be around these highs. Maybe you're above these highs. I don't know. I do suspect once you return to these highs, though, you're going to see a very rapid breakthrough, right? Not to the highs, and it could happen to the highs. Maybe you do move very fast all the way up here, and then you continue to break out. But what my thoughts would be is that it's going to be rather meticulous, rather constructive to this area here, and then whenever you do break out, you're going to see that miraculous kind of pop that you've been accustomed to coming up to these areas to find resistance, right? I think it's going to be more methodical, and then once you get up there, sometime in May is what I'm thinking is when you're going to get this pop, and then that ultimate destination that you're going to go to by the end of May, if not by the end of June, somewhere in that kind of time frame, I think would be anywhere from at least about 12 cents around these highs here, around these highs at around 12 cents here, or at most you could see 24 cents or higher, right? And I don't know if 62 cents is what you're going to see, but let's see. Let's from a high to a low here, 30 cents could be a possibility at the 2272. It's very common to, once you hit the 2272, to actually go a little bit through it. So something above 30 cents is an accepted outcome. You're at 2.6 cents now, so that's well over a 10x in price growth. But don't be sad or discouraged if you stop at 12 cents at the golden ratio here. Don't be sad or discouraged if you stop at 18 to 21 cents right here. And don't be sad if you stop at the all-time high at 24 cents. Anything and everything in between. I'm expecting a lot of growth nonetheless for Alchemy Pay. You guys have been patient. You've been through the ringer. You're ringing out the ringing ringer. I don't know what to say, man. You're coming to the end of this, and it's a very bullish formation. Once you work your way back up here, I expect you're going to see a rather miraculous pop, and it's going to take you up to these areas. I've got nothing else to say. My daughter's screaming, so I'm going to go help my wife. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.